So with update 3.0 being on the TestLive currently, I thought I'd go through all the new perks and attributes added with the attribute rework. As with my previous videos on 3.0, this footage was captured in a pre-release version before TestLive went public, and thus may not represent the final or current state of the update. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to go through all the attributes and their available perks, including the corrupted variants. You can put a maximum of 20 points into each attribute, unlocking a perk every 5 levels. Levels 10 and 20 will offer a choice between perks. Corrupting your perks requires 1 soul essence per point, requiring 20 in total to entirely corrupt a tree, mutating your perks at 5, 10, 15 and 20. So let's begin with strength, dictating your strength weapon damage and slightly increasing your carry capacity. Level 5 of strength grants heavy blows, granting heavy and special attacks an extra 10% more damage. Level 10 offers a choice between Combo Master, in which your combo finishers deal 20% more damage, or Second Skin, in which your equipped armour weighs 25% less. Level 15 grants Berserker. Whilst below 50% health you deal 25% more damage and gain 100 armour. Finally, at level 20 you can choose between Blood Mad Berserker and Crushing Swings. Blood Mad Berserker is one of the few remaining perks from before this update, and whilst you're at 25% health or below you can't be knocked down or staggered, your damage increases by an additional 10% on top of Berserker, and your armour is increased by an additional 50, again on top of Berserker. Crushing Swings causes your heavy attacks to stagger for 25% longer, and they will no longer rebound off shields. Now for Corrupted Strength. Level 5 is Scourge, dealing additional damage that scales with your Corrupted Strength. The additional damage will scale with further corruption investment into the skill. Level 10 grants Mule Kick, causing your kick attack to push enemies back further and knock them to the floor. Level 15 grants Rack, which causes your strikes to debuff your enemies, reducing their damage output. Finally, level 20 grants Desecrate, granting a chance for a blast of corruption to vent from the earth when dealing damage to enemies. This does additional damage and knocks down enemies caught in the blast. Overall, both regular and corrupted strength seem like good options that will be popular amongst both PvE and PvP players. Second Skin from the regular tree doesn't seem that great, but it could be useful if you don't wish to boost your encumbrance through expertise. Regular strength is definitely going to be a cornerstone of the standard warrior style builds, with Blood Mad Berserker offering the option to spec into a more glass cannon style of gameplay. Corrupted strength also seems and feels extraordinarily good, offering some good benefits for the sacrifice made. Reducing incoming damage and having a guaranteed knockdown on demand against human enemies is very useful. Having Desecrate proc in a horde of enemies feels really good too, though being up close swinging seems a touch counterintuitive with a 50% health reduction from corruption, so this could work well with a heavy spec into grit and vitality. The scaling that you receive from strength is a really good boost too. The Abyssal Maul deals 72 damage on the weapon card, but at level 20 corrupted strength it deals 176 damage per swing, gaining an extra 104 damage simply from weapon scaling. Strength seems like a great option and will probably be a favourite. Next up is Agility, dictating your agility weapon damage, attack from dodge cooldowns, and slightly increases your stamina pool. At level 5 you get Backstab, allowing you to deal 15% increased damage by attacking from behind. Level 10 offers a choice between Deadshot and Precision Strike. Deadshot causes arrows and thrown weapons to travel twice as fast, dealing an extra 15% damage to distant targets. Precision Strike grants a bonus 10% armour penetration while carrying a light or medium load. Level 15 grants Quick Footed. With this perk, jogging, sprinting, jumping, swimming and climbing are faster and cost less stamina. At level 20 you can choose between Extended Leap and Rolling Thrust. Extended Leap is another perk from before 3.0, allowing you to simply double jump. Rolling Thrust grants a buff after rolling, causing your next attack to cost no stamina and carry 25% increased penetration. Agility is currently not a corruptible skill, but I could see it becoming one in the future. I think there is enough potential there. Agility helps to augment the rogue or archer playstyle, and whilst it does offer some nice improvements to those playstyles, I think it does fall slightly below expectations. Extended Leap and Quick Footed feel like extremely niche perks, and Backstab likely isn't as useful as it seems. Deadshot is very good, though it does require you to keep your distance, putting you in more of an Overwatch role if you're in a team. If you're solo, enemies will just run at you, so you lose that bonus 15% damage pretty quickly. Rolling Thrust and Precision Strike do help with overall DPS through their armour penetration, and the weapon scaling for agility is very good. As an example, Musashi's Black Blade deals 60 damage on the weapon card, with another 60 damage from agility, dealing 120 per swing. I think agility could do with one or two improvements in the perks, and archery will likely need another buff in the future, but I think it's a good step up from where it was in the past. Of course, agility is not intended to be pumping out insane burst damage, but rather I think reasonable, consistent damage. Next is Vitality, which determines the size of your health pool. At level 5 you get Fierce Vitality, granting passive health regen. At level 10 you can choose between Fast Healer and Resurgence. Fast Healer grants a 50% healing increase from all healing effects, and Resurgence grants a one-time healing effect when your HP drops below 50%, which then goes on cooldown until you become fully healed again. Level 15 grants Robust, increasing your maximum health by 100. Level 20 offers Last Stand or Glutton for Punishment. Last Stand offers a massive buff when you drop below 50%, cleansing all debuffs and granting a 95% damage reduction for a short time. Glutton for Punishment will regenerate the last instance of damage taken over the next 15 seconds, though I couldn't be sure if this stacked or not. At 5 points of Corruption, you gain Grotesque Excrescence, gaining passive health regen scaling with your Corrupted Vitality. At 10 points, Twisted Flesh, offering a chance to deflect damage that scales with your Corrupted Vitality. At 15 points, Petrified, which makes you immune to bleed, poison, disease and sunder. At 20 points, Tainted Vessel. When you take damage, corruption spawns around you to deal damage or corrupt enemies if they can receive it. This is not a guaranteed proc every time you take damage, but it does occur at a seemingly quite reasonable rate. Vitality is a pretty decent skill with some nice perks. Last Stand and Resurgence can both be absolute lifesavers in tough situations, as can Fast Healer and Glutton for Punishment. Resurgence doesn't offer a massive boost in HP, just enough to keep you alive, but definitely not enough to stop you from dying. Last Stand is extremely powerful, that 95% damage reduction is huge. It doesn't last for too long, just long enough to get you away from the fight or to finish off your opponent. Corrupted Vitality is decent, allowing you to regenerate what little health you have left, making you immune from certain debuffs and allowing you to deflect attacks and passively deal damage, giving you some extra breathing room and survivability. Overall, Vitality will likely end up as the backbone of many builds. It's a pretty good attribute that will perform pretty well. Next is Authority, which dictates the damage your followers deal and the concussive damage you can deal. At level 5 you get Irritate, where active followers will try to draw aggression of enemies away from you and onto them. They do pull aggro well, but it's not 100% effective. At level 10 you choose between Commanding Presence and Healthy Diet. Commanding Presence causes your active followers to have their health restored when you deal damage. Healthy Diet will cause your followers to gain passive health regen outside of combat. At level 15, Attentive Care will cause your followers to receive a 50% increase to the healing they get. At level 20 you choose between Well Trained and War Party. Well Trained causes your active followers to have increased attributes, and War Party increases your maximum follower count by 1, but your own statistics no longer influence their damage output. At 5 points of Corruption you'll get Frenzy. When you deal damage your followers will become frenzied. Frenzy increases their damage by 3% for each corrupted attribute, up to a maximum of 12%. At 10 points, Flesh Bond. Damage you take is split between you and your followers. At 15 points, Devour. Damage dealt by your followers will heal you. Finally, at 20 points, Demon Lord. When dealing damage there is a chance an uncontrolled demonic entity will appear to aid you against your enemies. Authority as a new skill is pretty good. It really does feel like you are making the conscious choice to invest in your followers and they receive rewards accordingly. Regular Authority helps to balance survivability and damage, making you way more flexible and capable. Corrupted Authority takes a much darker tone where your followers basically become your support, taking damage for you and healing you with damage they deal. In the pre-release there is currently an issue with the Demon Lord perk where when a demon spawns it will target your own followers, at least with the undead. This will hopefully be fixed pretty quickly, I doubt it's an intentional feature. Authority feels pretty great and definitely gives much more agency to those who choose to play with thralls. Next is Grit, dictating the size of your stamina pool and the effectiveness of your armour. At level 5, Tenacity increases your armour by 40 and your stamina by 20. At level 10, Endurance and Stout. Endurance causes your stamina to regen 25% faster, and Stout will increase your armour by 1/5 of your current stamina. At level 15, Defensive Posture, reducing damage taken by 15% whilst you're attacking or blocking. Finally, at level 20, Shieldmaster and Steel Feud. Shieldmaster lets you block unblockable attacks at a higher stamina cost and lets you react twice as quickly after a successful block. Steel Feud caps the damage you can take in a single hit to no more than 25% of your maximum health. Grit seems like a fairly useful skill that will shine for your frontline warriors that will be tanking a lot of damage and will need the survivability, which is likely why it isn't corruptible. It's a really simple skill tree that offers a lot of nice bonuses to armour and blocking, and will play a lot into other builds that require the survivability and damage reduction of a good armour set. Finally, Expertise, which dictates your carrying capacity. At level 5, Survivalist, in which your tools will lose durability half as quickly, and Hunger and Thirst deplete 33% slower. At level 10, Efficient Harvest or Careful Harvest. Efficient grants twice as many resources on the final hit of the node, and Careful makes you twice as likely to gather rare resources. At level 15, Hard Worker, allowing you to harvest resource nodes twice as fast. Finally, at level 20, Beast of Burden and Structural Integrity. Beast of Burden allows you to dodge and move at full speed whilst over encumbered, and Structural Integrity makes structures you build 25% more stable. The skill tree for Expertise is definitely more niche the higher up you go. The first perk is very useful, but anything past that will likely go into either a dedicated farming or construction build, which is absolutely fine. Being able to target quantity or quality of resources is nice, though Careful Harvest doesn't provide a massive drop increase on rare items like Goldstone. It also, unfortunately, from what I could tell anyway, doesn't seem to affect the Harvest spell. However, that being said, it is nice to have and does indeed make a difference overall. Structural Integrity means you can place 5 tiles away from a source of 100 stability, so you can now have 10 tile wide bridges. In the pre-release version, this extra stability remains even if you spec out of Structural Integrity, so you only really need it when you're actually building, not all the time. Again, Expertise is pretty niche, but offers some very nice quality of life perks for farming and building. And there we have it, every single new attribute and perk in the TestLive server for update 3.0. There is definitely room for some small changes and improvements amongst certain skills, and there are a couple of bugs and issues that will hopefully be ironed out quickly as they have already been reported to Funcom. Generally speaking though, it seems like there is a lot more room for player choice in the new attribute system, and that is exactly what is needed. If you enjoy my content, all the links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, Host Havoc affiliate page, NordVPN discount and NordPass discount are available in the description below. However, of course, you can simply just leave a like, a comment or subscribe. Any of those are very greatly appreciated. Patrons get a bunch of nice benefits, including sneak peeks of videos, your name in every video, custom made wallpapers in 1080p and 4K resolutions, full-size build blueprints, Discord roles and more. As always, a massive thanks to our patrons Sadialot, Randar, Connor, Ivy, Torn, Ill-Fated, Coffeeman04, Jacques, Marion Ladd, Baron, Ghosty Pants, Ryan, Ben, Alfric, Eagle Rose, Melanie, and X-Screechers X. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.